Welcome. Last time, we studied morality and the first phase of ethical life, the family, the first of the ethical institutions which embody the reality of freedom. Today, we will take a look at civil society and the state, the apotheosis of objective spirit. First, a review. We are studying Hegel's science of spirit, which traces the actualization of spirit, intelligence, or God as the only reality. In short, spirit, or the soul, proved itself to be the truth of nature and externality. Quote, "The soul is the universal immateriality of nature, the ideality of all matter," which means that the soul, in truth, is infinite, all that exists, and absolutely free. It merely has to realize or know this about itself. This is precisely what happens in the science of spirit, in the move from subjective to objective to absolute spirit. In anthropology, the soul was the whole, everything, though only we knew this. Then in phenomenology, the whole became divided into the I, or subject, and the objective world. We began psychology with the two sides having merged into one, a subject-object unity of spirit or mind as the only reality. After viewing the mind's theoretical and practical powers, we arrived at and concluded subjective spirit with the concept of freedom, that is, spirit as the free will which is absolutely infinite, a unity of subject and object encompassing everything, and which is now to receive its concrete determinate reality in objective spirit, in right, morality, and ethical life. In subjective spirit, spirit's task was to free itself from nature. Its task in objective spirit is to create a second nature, a realm of freedom above the first physical nature. Thus, right is the study of outer or objective right. Morality, that of inner or subjective right and will. Ethical life is the truth and unity of right and morality, of the subjective and the objective rational will. It is the good, right, and freedom fully realized in the family, i.e. unity, civil society, i.e. opposition, and the state, i.e. unity restored. Last time, we studied morality and the family's three moments. Today, we will look at civil society and the state's first moment, the Constitution. 1. Civil society. Recall that the good is the unity of the will and the good, the individual subjective will, and the universal objective rational will, qua laws and institutions and their duties. And recall that the transition from the family to civil society occurred when the children reached maturity and left the family, no longer members, but independent persons. Civil society has three parts. 1. The system of needs. The spirit, as the universal of the family, now particularizes itself into a plurality of independent, self-seeking families and individuals that no longer focus on absolute unity, but on their own particularity, interests, and needs, and how to satisfy them. And though all persons are particular and independent of all others, the universal is also accomplished because all are interdependent. Each needs the others to satisfy its own needs. For in seeking my own needs, buying a car, I also satisfy your needs, giving you money to feed your family. It is by work or labor that I am able to acquire the money, i.e. the means, to satisfy my needs. Interdependence and universality also result from the division of labor, which also increases with the multiplication of needs. No one can produce by his labor all that he needs, which makes him dependent on the labor of others. Indeed, it is the labor of all that produces the general resources, goods, services, capital, by which the needs of all are satisfied. The multiplication of needs also leads, especially in industry and manufacture, to a worker's restriction to one skill and to a greater dependence on the social system. The division of the general resources and the related modes of labor, needs, and means for satisfying them gives rise to the division of society into three main classes or estates determined by the concept. The agricultural or farming class, the immediate class which depends on nature and its products and the wealth these provide, and which has an ethical life based on faith and trust. The business or industrial or commercial class, the largest of the three, is the class of reflection and particularity, where individuals rely on their intelligence, talents, and skills for their share of society's wealth. Lastly, the universal or thinking class of civil servants who work for the government and its all-pervading one will, that is, for the universal interests of society and the state, and who, unlike the business class, have a secure subsistence and income provided by society as a whole.